Well, good afternoon, you guys. I am getting a late start in here, but we've had so much going on today that I wanted to make sure that I was prepared and come in and chat with you guys one last time. The week went by so super fast. We covered so many good nuggets, and I really, really hope that the goal of my week was to make sure that you guys get the most out of all of the different tips so that by the end of the week you felt super equipped to take on next week and the month going forward, right? We have the Smart Start guide that has your schedules. It had meal plans in there. There's like sample recipes, right? We talked about the different supplements that we could use. I showed you behind the scenes of my workouts. One thing I completely spaced on is sending you guys sample workouts to try. I know a lot of you are already a part of my BODi community, but those of you that need fitness examples and different things, I do have a PDF that I can put up and share that with you that will give you access to like a dozen or more different workouts to sample. So if that's something that you need, let me know about that. We talked about the structure, right? I think it's super important for me to reiterate the things that are working for me. Take some planning, right? They take some forethought. And so like a big, huge thing that I'm actually getting ready to tackle today is planning for next week. So now that school is started or going to be starting after Labor Day for us, we're getting the sports schedules, we're getting the calendar for the school year and things like that. So what I literally did, soccer is the first one, just for example. So there's a printout of all the games and practices. And so what I will typically do is take my planner and just write everything out so that I know in advance where I got to be, what I got to do, where in the world I'm driving to for a game and what time of day it is and so forth. So that's a big part of implementing the planning process. I sit down every single month and do an overview. So most of you guys know that I'm also a BODi partner. So I run my business online. And so that's a big factor in there too. I want to make sure that I have the time in my week to allot to the things that I need to do. The really, really cool thing about being a partner is that we have an activity list that we follow. So literally it helps me to work my business in like pockets of the day, right? So it's not like it has to be like a full-time job. I'm not on social media 24/7. I literally have some different items that I follow. And just like with my nutrition and my fitness, a lot of what I'm doing now is I'm on autopilot about get in, get out, get it done, get on with the day, right? It's just like any job. So making sure, you have some of these things in place, right? I will say that first and foremost is having a plan, right? Creating a plan, setting goals, setting like a vision for yourself. Like, what do you want next week to look like, right? And you don't have to take the whole month as a whole. I really like to chunk it down personally, and that's why I have my planner. So I will do like, if I'm looking at September, I'll plan the month of September out. I fill in all the personal stuff first, like school activities, doctor's appointments, vacation time, days off, whatever that is. All the personal family stuff goes in there first. Then if there's days that I'm working, those go in there. And then my business activities and things that I want to accomplish for those goals go in there too. But I take the month as a whole, and it's sort of like stepping back and saying to myself, what do I want to accomplish in this month? And some really of these planners I was noticing will have like, for example, this one has 3 months goals, right? So goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, goal 4, goal 5, and like what you're thinking about for your goals, thinking about them in advance. And then it actually has on the other side the action steps that I'm going to take to achieve my goals. Now, typically when I think about that stuff, it's like, what does my health look like? What does my nutrition look like? How do I want to feel? How rested do I want to feel? Like my health and that sort of, like, what are the goals behind that, right? Is it trying to get in so many steps? Is it trying to be hydrated, getting more sleep? Like, what does that look like for you, right? So that's like one personal goal, right? A health goal. Another one might be like a personal growth goal, right? So you're going to read so many books, or you're going to make sure that you at least do 10 minutes a day of a book that you're reading, or listen to a podcast on the way to soccer, sports at the pickup, taxiing, right? That's usually when I listen to my best stuff, is being the taxi driver. Or maybe you have a goal of something else. Sorry, I just want to make sure. My kids always text me, and I have on my watch, and they're the only people that, I'm trying to figure out where they are and what they're doing all day today. So the different goals that you want to set for yourself. So it's usually like health, spiritual, emotional, family, right? Like date nights, one-on-one ones with your kids. Then you have like career goals, you have financial goals, spiritual goals, things like that. So kind of start there first before you start to tackle all the other things. Like, where are you now? Where do you want to be? Right? So be visualizing and thinking about, what do I want? Whether it's just next week or next month, take a set period of time. Where do I want to go for September, right? From the day one, and then how we're going to get there is the roadmap that we build and the actions that we take together in order to get there. Okay. So that's definitely first and foremost. I'm actually going to sit down. I have my month pretty much all set for August. We've got a couple more weeks, but what I'll sit down and do today is plan out next week in my planner. So I do a lot of time blocking. I think we talked about that a little bit. Usually on the weekends, I'll sit down and time block. So just basically like, do we have games next week? I have a haircut appointment. Are there doctor's appointments? Stuff like that. And I map it out. So that way I can really enjoy my weekend. And I know that for me, I unplug a lot on the weekends and try to get off of social media, especially since it's summer, try to be outside as much as possible. So then when Sunday night hits, I can be like, okay, I'm ready for the week. And I'm not like, oh, it's Monday, right? I'm actually excited because I've unplugged. I've rested. I did my workouts all weekend. We went out or did whatever we needed to do, and I'm ready to tackle another week and help you guys be better humans, be better super moms, right? Okay, so that's kind of like the first thing we talked about, right? And then I always implement the nutrition plans with all of my accountability groups. So know that I have an abundance of plans, like depending on where your headscape is with that. I was just talking to one person that she was like, I just really struggle planning. And so these meal plans are great because they go out to you every week. They're a guideline to follow. And then you've got me to help to coach you through that. Or if something's not working, then we tweak that and fine tune that, right? You've got endless recipes to choose from either too as well. So there's that aspect. The fitness is plug and play. You push play, you're done, you're in, you're out, you're on your way. So let me know if you need help navigating something to start with. If you are ready to commit to something, you can commit to a 4-week something, a 6-week, 8-week. If you know me, I am always sharing that 645 is my favorite program to do in this whole world. Everyone needs to be doing this program. Mobility, strength, flexibility. This is how we're getting through life strong, pain-free, lots of mobility. This is how we're going to be able to do our life outside of the gym. Okay, can't say enough about this style of training, but it is a 45-minute a day program, and it's about 13 weeks long. But honestly, I prefer the longer stuff because you're just going to be that more invested emotionally and physically into something like that. So fitness aspect. So having a plan, nutrition, fitness, mindset. We talked about the personal development. The morning routine is huge. This is a big part of my life, guys. And I cannot say enough about how becoming a BODi partner was the biggest game changer. I touched upon that a little bit yesterday, but literally have no idea where I was to where I am today and how less stressed I feel, how much more excited I am to take on the day, to jump in front of the computer and talk to you guys about what it is that we do. And then we link arms and we do that together. There's no greater feeling than all of that stuff. However, the mindset piece needs to be there, right? And we always talk about this when it comes to our nutrition, mostly is where we struggle with that, right? We think on or off the wagon. We think it has to be perfect. We think it's black or white, right? And we really want to start to talk to ourselves in a little bit better way. So when we dive into that personal growth or those mindset master classes that are on our wellness platform, that's going to help you to move through those obstacles. We are going to see those failures and those struggles as learning curves and how to get better. You'll hear me often talk about that 1%, right? Every single week, we are striving to be 1% better than we were last week. What does that look like? It's different for everyone, right? So that mindset, planning, nutrition, fitness, mindset, community, right? This is the next piece of that puzzle. Gosh, you guys, I felt so lost when I first started. I was trying to navigate this all by myself, put all of the pieces together. I didn't know what I needed. I didn't know how much I needed. I didn't know or have a steering wheel or a blueprint or anything. And now I got you. I got all the things in place, and I got them to help you and steer you in the right path. Okay. So the community, you've got me, you've got all the other moms in our community. Not only do you have our fitness and nutrition community, but you have our team of partners who are also working and building a business in some form or other capacity as far as our next level living leaders. Not as nor there, you're never alone. There's never not somebody to talk to, depending on what it is that you're looking for. If it's business training, if it's fitness training, it's mentorship, if it's just somebody to talk to because you're struggling with some form or piece of that puzzle. You're never alone. You always have a community. We're always here for you, to support you and guide you and lift you up along the way. When you become a partner on our team, it's not a scary thing. And I mean, it's like any new job, right? There's a learning curve for sure, but there's a ton of training and a ton of product support and different methods and ways to work the business, whether it's online, in person, or a mixture of both, right? And we talk about a lot of those things. I do a lot of one-on-one guidance, not just with my partners, but with my fitness and nutrition clients too, because this is not a one-size-fits-all gig, right? It's not a get-rich-quick anything. It's not a lose-weight-fast anything. We are talking about changing behaviors. We're changing our lifestyle. And sometimes that can be a lot harder than we anticipate, right? We're going along the newness, the excitement, and then, it starts to get mundane because those actions are just something that we have to do every day in order to be consistent, in order to build those habits and grow. It's just like with anything else, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But I've got you as far as community support and all of that. Right. And then the last thing that I wanted to really just touch upon today was the financial support, right? So becoming a partner and aligning yourself with a company like BODi is freaking amazing. I cannot say enough about, aligning yourself with something that encourages personal growth, that encourages nutrition, balanced nutrition, healthy, right? Not dieting, not fads, not trends, the healthy way, encourages moving your body, encourages that health esteem routine. I mean, that is the only way that we are going to come out on the other side positive, healthy, right? And what better way to create a part-time income or supplemental income or replace your income by aligning yourself as a partner with this business? There are 3 partner types that I work with, that we develop. And so love to share that, because people think, and a lot of stuff has changed, right? So a lot of negative connotations in the past with what an MLM is, or direct sales, but literally you're just selling product. And then you have the ability to also earn bonuses and commissions if you decide to grow your business exponentially over and above just selling the retail product. So you have a typical regular accountability partner, where you have, you sell the products. You earn a 25% commission on everything that you sell. Shakeology, Beachbody On Demand, the services, the platform itself, right? Any of the nutritionals, 25% commission. It's actually 25 to 40% depending on what it is. We also have commissions that we earn on the bike, which are awesome. Right now, there's an extra special promotion going on where you earn even more with the gut protocol that has just come out, the 4-week gut protocol and the 4 weeks for everybody super block. So some of those combinations that they highlight every single month, there's something new. You get different commissions based on that too as well. When you're a partner, you also get a 25% discount on anything that you consume. So you get that. I'm going to tell you that you don't have to sell stuff that you don't like, right? I think about this a lot. It's come such a long way, where before it was ingrained in us that you had to sell a package, that everybody had to buy a bundle, or everybody had to get Shakeology. And I feel like that's just not the case anymore. You can make a pretty amazing monthly income with Beachbody On Demand, the platform itself, that recurring revenue. And that's really what makes this business model so exciting, is that you have the ability to earn passive or reoccurring revenue, and that's income that just reoccurs every single month after the first time you've sold it, right? So for example, if I'm selling somebody the BODi platform and they're paying quarterly, then I get a commission every quarter that every time it renews, I get a monthly, right? And so now I'm at a point where I've sold so many of these on demand, the platform itself, that now every month I get a chunk of people that renew annually. And so literally every single month I'm getting renewal, people just staying on the programs, right? And then if you add Shakeology to that, it's the same idea. If somebody stays on Shakeology every single month, you get a commission. Shakeology, let's just use this for a numbers example, is about $130 a month. With your discount, it's 97, but you typically get about $30 for a commission on that. So let's say you sell 3 Shakeologies this month, you get 30, 60, 90. So it's $90 you'd get this month for 3 people. And then let's say in September you sold 3 more, that's 30, 60, 90. And these people stay on, that's another 30, 60, 90, it's 180. And then let's say in what month, October, you sell another 3, that's 30, 60, 90. And then the people from August and September, and you can see how that adds up. And that's just one example. And that's just 3 people. If you did 5 people or 10 people, you could see how that would add up, right? So that's product. That's just product sales. That's just retail sales. Super fun, love sell real. That's how it starts, right? You get people involved in our community. They try some product. They get a fantastic testimonial results, and they go on to sell it themselves or just continue to stick around with us, right? I have a lot of lifers that have been with me for a very long time. And then the next product type would be accountability. And that would be a partner that wanted to come in and just run their own health and fitness community, right? So they're selling the products, they're hosting their own community, and kind of how I do mine, they would have their own and just want to run their own little health and fitness group, do their own challenges, do their own thing, and have their all people be in there, and you're selling product and you're having fun and you're your biggest cheerleaders, right? And then the third type is a business partner. So the business partner, has the product sales, gets their commissions, has their discount, but a business partner is interested in building a team and also finding other moms that are like us and building their own business. And so when you start to add people to your team and they start also selling retail commissions and adding, that's when you start to earn bonuses. So it will just compound. They call it team volume. So there's like an amount of points that accumulate. And so when we are all working together as a team, those points add up. And then as a team, we earn bonuses and stuff. So that can actually exponentially grow, which is pretty fun. But we can get into that comp plan and all that kind of stuff if that's something that you're interested in. But I wanted to let you know that there's a lot of different ways to go about it. Some people call them affiliates. Some people call them accountability partners. There's just a lot of different ways to work the business. Most people come in part-time just looking to just earn back enough to pay for their Shakeology or pay for the program, right? Some people come in and they just want to earn like a part-time income from home. And that's great because you can literally work this business right from your phone. So literally, I mentioned I had a list that I work with literally every single day. I sit down and work my list. I talk about what I'm doing. I talk about what's working for me. I'm talking about how I'm feeling. And now that I'm going into be 50 next year, like that season of life has changed for me, right? I have a senior in high school, middle schoolers. When I first started the business, I was talking to 30 somethings about being a stay-at-home mom, right? So that is also something I really want you to be thinking about. When you look at me or you look at another partner and you think, God, I can't do that because they're in a different time of life. Well, that's not how that works, right? You need to work your business for you, what's going to work for your time of life, right? So like I'm looking for 40 somethings that are trying to build strength after, and thrive in their 40s, right? That they're middle-aged moms of teenagers and things like that. You might be an empty nester. You might be on the whole other side of that in a grandma situation where you're ready to help people that are in their 50s or 60s, right? Or the reverse, maybe you just had a baby, you're just trying to lose that baby weight and you know how hard it is and you want to help other new moms do that same thing. Or maybe you're just in a whole different ball of wax and you're in the corporate world and you're like, I love my corporate job, but this would be so fun to do on the side and I want to work with other corporate mamas doing the same thing, right? So really this business can be curtailed to anyone depending on how you see it, right? And it can be as small or as big as you need it to be as well. And that's a conversation that we could have one-on-one. But literally when I start my day, I get up, it's me first, my business, me first, right? So my job is my journey. It's about that morning routine. We talked about the planning, like taking control of my brain, my body, my health. Like I am number one. That is non-negotiable. So as busy as the day gets, I'm always taking care of myself first. The other stuff can fall by the wayside. Sometimes I'll do it at night if I'm trying to catch up. But literally get up, do my morning routine. I get my workout in. And then I check into my online accountability group and my clients and make sure that do they have any questions? Do they have any needs? How can I help them? Are they struggling with anything? And then I go right into my emails after that because more clients are going to be in there asking me questions. And then from there, I post on social media. Sometimes I have a strategy when I post. Other times I'm really feeling it in the moment. A lot of my posts come from conversations that I've had or people that are like, they'll message me something weird and I'm like, "Ugh, why do they think that?" And I'll spark a thought and a discussion. Other times I have posting ideas that I follow and I share with my other partners for the month where they can get lots and lots of ideas. So, we talk about building value and sharing tips and not just about me, but how you can serve, right? This business is how to serve others. And I think that that's a big missing component that we forgot all along the way from when we first started. How can I serve you? And that's when I get on to social media and I think about my post for the day, it's not a sweaty selfie. It's what am I doing that can help someone else? How is what I'm going through, my experience, going to help you and your experience and you get better, right? Is it a nutrition tip? Is it a recipe? Is it, the fact that my workouts include mobility? I'm at a loss for words right now. Let's see, what did I do? I told my story today. That was today. I talked about how I was going to be talking to you guys about being a partner and how much being a partner has changed my whole life. And when I first started, I thought, I have to go to the gym in order to get the best shape of my life. And it really was about finding the right program in order to find that path for me. Okay. So I go through my list. I've got, different follow-ups that I do. We talked about emails, engage with clients, social media, and I just invite people in to learn about the experience, whether it's through email or it's through a message on social media. This is what I'm doing this week. I'm getting ready to open up the Fit Gym for September. We're talking about being bold and starting again and the newness and the freshness of fall, right? And so I'm talking about moms that are middle-aged that need to rebuild their strength or get a handle on the routine when they go back to school, right? We're going to be talking about all the back to school stuff. So I just invite people in to learn more about it, right? They don't have to. It's not for everyone, but I want to make sure that I'm sharing that experience and inviting people in to join me, right? Much like we did with the Smart Start group, right? So those of you that are in here watching at some point, I invited you in here to listen, to watch, to learn more, to be part of what we going on. And that's literally all it is. Now, I love to do video. I know that is not for everybody. And so don't feel like you have to be like on video in order to be successful in this business. Literally, you could be the tiny little introvert behind the screen just talking to people, right? Or maybe you are loving being out in person with people, and that's how you're going to be engaging and building relationships with people is in person, like in your job or in the community or what have you, right? So remember that there's a lot of ways to do this. There's no one way, and you have to find your way and the one that works best for you, or you won't be successful. If you're a copycat or you're trying to compare yourself to this one over here, then that's not going to work either. You literally have to find your voice in this business and find your pathway, and then that's when you'll find the success too. I'm here to help you and guide you all along the way, but it literally is about you being you and authentically you, because there are other yous out there that you're going to attract in that want to do and get help and resonate with what you have to say. Okay. So trying to think of what else there is, as far as perks and stuff, there's trips and all kinds of fun bonuses, swag. You probably see I always win stuff and have hats and all kinds of fun things. But the real icing on the cake is how much things have changed for me mentally since I started this business. I was in a place where I was super burned out. super stressed out. We had our own business for 13 years or some odd thing. And I really just didn't know any better. I didn't really know any better. We had kids. There was 3 kids. It was like being on a hamster wheel. And I really wasn't home with them a lot. They were in daycare. I remember thinking all the time, like, is this really what life is about? You just go to bed and, wake up and do it every day, punch a card, go to work, be miserable. Like, that's not what I want. That's not the role that I want to present for my kids. Never see them. What do we have them for if I'm never going to see them, right? And like always questioning, like, there's got to be more. Like, this whisper is telling me that there's more to life. Like, I know I'm capable of more. Like, there's got to be more here. And I always say, when I think about how it all fell into place for me, it was like this, the sky opened up and was like, here's your path, right? And I always wanted to be the business owner. I came from an entrepreneurial family. My dad started his own business when I was a little girl. And so honestly, I always thought I was going to take over his business, but that, like, was not in the cards. As it went along, I was like, I don't want to take over his business, but the entrepreneurial spirit was there. So I always wanted to be that business owner. I loved sales. I loved customer service. I loved all that stuff. I really loved the experiences that I had working for him and starting our own business. That was exciting, right? But then when kids came along, then your priorities change, right? And I still wanted to be that business owner and crush in the business world and my career. But the kids also, I needed that, right, too. I needed to be the mom. I needed to be the career person. Like, and I was all there's pressure to, like, choose, right? So that's where I was like at this crossroads, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to choose. Why do I have to choose? And then I was like, but I want to do the business. I want to be, the kids need me, right? Like, all of that. And then the house was like dirty and the house needed me. And it was like all these things at once. And so when I found out about the business opportunity, I was like, wait a second, like, I can be home and work my business from my laptop at my kitchen counter and get in the best shape of my life and put myself first, be the business owner, but be at home and work this business in the middle of, like, naps and bath time and all. Yep, I'm in. I am totally in because I know I can make this work. It was something I want. I've always been ambitious. I've always wanted to. The hard work doesn't bother me. It's that making sure to have all the bits and pieces, right? So hence the planning, hence being on top of it all so that it doesn't overwhelm me, so that, I don't say, I'm out, I'm burnt out, right? Because it's easy to do that in any job, right? It's easy to get lost, right? So when this came along, it was like the personal development was there. It helped me to be a better mother. It helped me to find my spiritual journey. We found our forever church here up in New Hampshire. It gave me the ability to move up here, right? We were in a position where we were going to be coming back and forth, and it was just one of those things. We started talking about, hey, let's move, let's come up here permanently. This was eventually going to be our forever home anyways, and it just worked out that way. And so when I was here, I had to discover all new friends, a new church, a whole new path. The personal development helped to guide me. Taking care of my health and my body and my workouts helped to shape me and mold me. And I'm finding myself, saying those things to my kids and helping my son, figure out about college, right? And these are the things that I've learned through my own personal growth and my own health esteem routine that are now helping him to guide him to make the decisions that he needs to. My daughter is learning from me. My youngest is learning from me. And I think that there's just no greater gift that out of all of the long journey of the 10 years, the decade of doing this, that I'm raising better humans because of my choice to make things different, because I chose to want something different. I chose a different path because I wasn't happy with where I was and where I was seeing it going. And we couldn't stay in that place, in that mindset of feeling stuck and muffled and stifled. I wanted more for us, and I found it, and I'm now on that path. And I'm loving the journey so much. And then, today, now that I have so much experience under me from all the failures and the successes and the ups and the downs, I now am equipped to teach other women how to have that same type of a lifestyle through a business like this. It's funny when I think about this business model, because this was in the 70s. My dad started his own business, as I mentioned, and he was kind of this pioneer of this reoccurring revenue business model, right? He sold products and services to bars and restaurants, but it was the same concept. So when I think about how smart this business concept is, that network marketing and direct sales is, that you have this product that you love, that you are passionate about, that you get behind, and you help other people. It's a solution that you help them with, right? I think about my dad and his business where he sold background music, and he helped provide a solution for a bar or restaurant that needed to change their ambiance in order to turn tables faster, in order to make more income and change the experience for somebody, right? And I'm over here with my product and my experience for somebody to change their life, right? Same sort of concept, except there's no brick and mortar, there's no inventory to carry. I don't have to worry about a fleet of trucks anymore, or paying insurance on those trucks, or the gas bill on those trucks, and it's just like the amazing best of both worlds, to be able to have a business like this from home now, that you can grow and run. That's based off of taking care of yourself and getting into the best shape of your life, for life, right? Okay, so I blabbed on and on. It was a half an hour. I can't even believe I talked that much. I am so glad that I was able to host for you guys this week. I love this part of things because I really feel like exposing people to how easy and simple it can be to take some small actions, right? I think I started the week with people are always saying to me, "I wish I had your motivation." Okay, so I don't have motivation. I have habits in place, right? That keep me going. I would not say that I'm motivated by some things, but for the most part, the planning, having the actions in place are what keep me consistent and keep me going. Of course, there are days that I don't want to. It was pouring rain this morning, and I was like, I just want to watch movies and sit on the couch. And there are days that I do that, and that's okay to do too. But if you want to find and start with those visions and goals, and you want to work towards those, then you have to stay consistent with it, right? And it isn't always sexy. It does get mundane. It does get boring, right, guys? But we have each other to help each other through it, right? We lean into our communities for support. We have those conversations when we feel stuck. I never had that relationship with people that I worked with before, or people in the gym, right? Like, could you go up to them and be like, "Hey, I'm really struggling with this workout. Could you help me today?" Right? Like, that doesn't happen. And same thing with like nutrition, right? You're going to take a class in the studio or what have you, and then how do you figure out the food part of things? And I feel like that's a big part of the equation. But it doesn't all change unless you change the 6 inches between your ears first. And that's going to lead you to all the other paths. So I know, you guys, I hope you didn't think it was going to be that easy. It does take work. It does take time. It does take consistency. But I believe in you, and I know that you can do it. And you have all the tools and resources that you need. Okay, so if you are interested in learning more about aligning yourself with the BODi Company and being an incredible partner on my team in some shape or form, I would love to talk to you more about that. I'm actually doing a lot more one-on-one calls because I feel like, yes, you could, tell me you're interested and fill out my form and all that stuff, but I think it's better for us to have a conversation, especially since I know most of you guys that are already in this group, and that you're already part of my community in some shape, way, or form. So I'd love to set up a one-on-one call if you're interested in and have questions, or just want to learn a little bit more to see if it's a right path for you, right? If you need help getting started in the fitness and nutrition and mindset community aspect, and you're not quite ready for the partner thing yet, but maybe you want to learn a discount or something, let's get you started with some of the basic resources, okay? There's some easy ways to get you started. We've got fitness trials. I've got sample workouts. I've got the meal plans that I mentioned. Besides what you got in the Smart Start Guide, you can get into my newsletter and get on the regular with the monthly recipe roundup, and just all kinds of stuff. So let me know what you guys need and what piece, part, or fashion, and I'm here to help and guide you through all of those things. If you have questions on something else, let me know. Otherwise, have an amazing weekend, you guys. Happy Friday, and I will see you in the community next week. Thank you so much.